Disclaimer: this video is for educational purposes only and is not financial advice. Always do your own research before investing.
Hey guys, welcome back to Dividend North channel. Today we will dive deep into how I perform with my option strategy. Basically what I do is I sell put options, and when the stock get assigned to me, then I start selling covered call option, which basically a lot of strategists call it a wheel strategy, which means first you keep selling put options, and then once it get assigned to your strike price, and then you start selling covered calls on it. Now this strategy worked very well for me most of the time, but a few times when it didn't work in my favor, I got a deep losses. And now I'm looking at 2 years and 8 months almost, which is between November 2023, July 2026. And we will have a deep dive and overview of how I did until today. As you can see on the screen, between this period, I have 3,775 transactions, which basically by selling put options or covered call options. And the total premium received was $1.18 million, which is a pretty big sum. But then I have to close a lot of position early on. Once that lock in profit of, let's say, 50 to 60 or even 80%, then I'll have to buy to close. So I give back $878,000, almost $900,000 back. And then after all said and done, I netted total profit of $309,365. But the question is this real profit I put into my pocket? Do I still have it or not? To see that, let's deep dive into my portfolio and analyze all my transaction I did so far. Now let's break down my premium amount, $309,365, and what happened, and if I kept all of the profit as of today or not. As you can see, second line on this table, I have a net loss of $107,932 in the forced sell of my stock positions. Few calls which I sell at low strike price got called away, especially for TQQQ and UG Nugget or the SOXL, which brings down my net profit of $201,434. Next line is all the dividend received, because this position my margin position, so I'm holding a lot of dividend, Canadian dividend, which pay me dividend over time, which is $41,470, and then adds on, that's bring my total profit of $242,644, and then minus all the margin, because often I have to pick my position as they got assigned to me and borrow money into my margin account, and that interest I paid over time was $17,550. Rebate and miscellaneous credit I have received, and any FX conversion, so between Canadian and US dollars, I have to do time to time. So my net totalized cash profit as of today since inception should be $221,376. Now, here's the twist. So what happened as of today, because I have been assigned TQQQ, NUGT or Nugget and BitX over the time, and I'm sitting on heavy losses on these stocks, which are causing me negative $210,608, which literally eats away all of my profit. And right now I'm sitting at $10,767 profit only. And let's deep dive a little bit more on it. So what went wrong in the whole journey? So I really wonder, with 84.9% win rate, I'm still losing all of it or almost of it. 1,428 wins and 365 in profit collected, and after everything I just left with $10,767 only. Even myself, I'm wondering where I went wrong. I want to make sure that going forward I learn from my mistakes, which we are going to discuss in this video. Next time we will update this video and we will have much better result than what we have as of today. When I analyze all my trades, I noticed that my win rate, which is though very high, every winning trade made only $393, while every losing trade cost me $1,069, which is nearly 3 times as much as of the win rate. For a while, this strategy worked exactly as I designed it. Over 2.5 years, November 2023 to July 2026, this account collected over $1.18 million in option premium, then paid out to close my position $878,909. Net result, the account climbed steadily to $309,365 in profit. It wasn't a straight line. 2 sharp drawdown along the way, down $87,771 in August 2025. Another big one was $19,450 in April 2026. But every time it recovered, climbed higher. For a while, the machine was working. NVDL, TQQQ, Nugget or NUGT, all 2x, 3x leverage ETFs, made up to 78% of every dollar earned. No diversification. One bad stretch in any of these three could wipe out months of work. And that's exactly what happened to my portfolio. 85% win rate, but losing 15% weren't small. They were naked calls. Every single one of the 8 worst trades was a call option, written on the same leverage stickers with no protection. When the price ran, the losses had no ceiling. These 8 trades alone erased $53,971, a fifth of the entire realized profit. As the option got assigned, I end up buying at very high rate. Here on the chart, show every dot here is real force purchase on the TQQQ, bought at as high as $92, as low as $45 as well. Still holding 2,400 shares as of today, averaging around $82. But the current value of share is $64, so I'm down at around 22%. Nugget tells the same story. 300 shares bought at $290 to $305, right near the top of the run. Still holding 600 shares, average cost is $284, now worth only $110. So I'm down around 61%. BitX, I have small position, but same story. Only 4 assignment purchases on BitX, bought between $50 to $57. Still holding 500 shares, average around $45. Now worth only $11.66. So I'm down around 74%. So 3 position, I'm down 163,842 of unrealized pain. TQQQ down $42,967. Nugget down around $104,000. BitX down around $16,867. All three I'm still holding as of today. I have some heavy losses from the closed position like NVDL. NVDL is fully closed now. The damage is locked in. Whipsawed between $40 and $130 across 33 separate purchases before the position was finally closed out. As of today, I am not playing in NVDL. I'm only active in TQQQ. I've done very similar mistake in SOXL as well. Though smaller position, but same outcome. 9 force purchaser between $39 and $66 a share, closed out at a loss. So $101,440 already realized on 2 closed positions. NVDL 33 separate force purchases between $40 and $113. SOXL 9 force purchases between $39 and $66. Both closed out at huge loss. So that's my premium received of $309,365 with $210,608 in unrealized losses. The premium was real, but the leverage share that assigned left behind are marked at steep loss today. Eating almost all of it back, net result just $98,757 left. And everything else, it comes down to almost nothing. Premiums, dividends, stock losses, interests, fees, net it all together and you get $221,376 realized. Subtract what's still underwater today, and the final number is $10,767 left. So here are the key lessons learned from this option trading journey. Number 1 is over trading. Too much trading activity overall, very high frequency of the entries and exit without a clear edge behind each one. The fix, trade less, size position with more conviction, and require a specific setup or thesis before entering into the trade. Second biggest mistake I think I have made is I started this journey without a solid grasp of fundamentals. I didn't fully realize the mechanics of the products being traded and made decisions driven by panic and fear rather than a solid plan. I should have done some paper trading or start small until the mechanics, risk, and underlying product behavior are totally understood before scaling up this high. Third one is I keep repeating the same loss pattern again and again. I kept getting assigned on short puts at high prices, then had shares called away, short calls at low prices, effectively buying high and selling low on repeat. And this particularly happened when every time stock fluctuated more than 15 to 20%. The fix would be I will set strike selection and assignments rule in advance and review each assignment call away to confirm that trade still fits to my plan strategy and before repeating it. When the stock was fluctuating more than 20% and I completely lost it and I was lacking patience, exited or reacted to position impulsively instead of sticking to a plan and letting trades play out. So my action plan would be predefine exit rules, profit target, stop losses, time-based exit before entering and follow them regardless of short-term price swings. Next one is I think nobody should make this mistake. This is a rookie mistake. I sold naked calls. I wrote uncovered naked calls on several occasions, a high risk, undefined risk strategy that leaves losses uncapped. So fix is stick to covered or defined risk strategies, covered call only, credit spread, so maximum loss is known before the trade is placed. Next one is I ran into negative margin multiple times. My account went into negative margin balance on several occasions, creating a gridlock that forced my position to be sold at a loss. The fix would be monitor margin utilization proactively and de-risk well before hitting a maintenance call rather than after. Next one is I have no formal risk management strategy in place. So I traded a lot without a defined framework for position sizing. Maximize my losses per trade. My strategy would be write down a risk management plan, max risk per trade, max portfolio leverage, and diversification rules, and follow it consistently. Eighth mistake I have made, never kept a sufficient margin cushion. I again multiple times ran leverage too tight without enough spare margin buffer, which is what caused the repeated slide into negative margin. Fix would be keep a set apart percentage of the account in margin buffer at all times and treat that buffer as an untouchable capital. The last one on this list would be concentrated trades in a handful of correlated tickers, mostly trading into leveraged 2x, 3x ETFs, namely TQQQ, SOXL, Nugget, or NVDL, instead of spreading exposure to, like, for example, SPXL or TNT from Russell as well. I didn't actively manage the overall portfolio mix, so risk was so concentrated that it affects my overall gains. So the fix would be I will cap how much of the account any single underlying or correlated group of leverage ETF can represent and actively diversify across uncorrelated names and strategize rather than rotating through the same few. These are my 9 mistakes. Yeah, this is not a comprehensive list. There could be more as we continue this journey. So I hope you will guys learn from my mistakes and keep your profit in pocket rather than losing it like me. Please like and subscribe if you like this content. Thanks for watching.